And had raised up an horn of salvation for us.
That is Christ. He raised up a ruler to save you out of your enemies' hands. Read.
In the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets.
Because he spoke about it with Jeremiah.
Which we have been since the world began.
Since before the world began, he said that salvation is only for Israel. Read.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
That we should be saved from our enemies. Enemies, not friends. God have enemies. We are his children. We have enemies. Read.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
So who is the all that hate us? Apart from some of us hating our own selves. All the other nations on earth hate us. And they come together to make sure we don't know who we are. That is why we out here to teach those who want to know the truth. Brethren, what's your name? Huh? Mr. Kurt?
Yeah.
Mr. Kurt, we was asking about. So we're going to touch on Christmas for you. Give me Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. So where happened? Before the children of Israel leave Assyria and went into Babylon, the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, he came and he take all nations. But he also destroyed Jerusalem. At that time, your children? Your children? You have a daughter? This is what happened to us during that time. We ended up under the siege. We ended up cooking your daughter and eating she. Because we sin against God. You understand what I'm showing you? But before we go into Babylon, this is what Jeremiah told the people that he saw. Now Jeremiah see this long time ago, and it applies unto today. Why it apply unto today? Give me Isaiah 30 and 8 real quick. Hold on. I'm going to show you why it apply unto today. Because God said everything that he written, or that he told his holy men, the children of Israel, to write, it shall be forever. Watch this, read that.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a table.
Write it before the children of Israel in a table. We can show you what the table is. Come on.
And note it in a book.
And note it in a book. This book right here, the Bible. Read.
That it may be for the time to come forever and ever.
Forever. This word is forever. Jeremiah 10 and 1. So now we go give the history that Jeremiah write, that he know will become a custom over time, because he know that we would still be in captivity. Why? Because we are stiff-necked people. And the Most High judgment like a ring. So it just do this. Like right back around and just keep going. Come on, read that for me. Jeremiah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
So the Lord is speaking to the house of Israel. You see these people right here? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad. All these people, they are the 12 tribes of the sons of Jacob. And the Lord is speaking unto them by the prophet Jeremiah before they go into Babylon. Right? Read.
Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
So the Lord said, learn not the way of the other nations. Because all the other nations, they are heathens, Gentiles, strangers. They're the same people. They just use different terms to identify them. You understand what I'm saying? All right, come on.
And be not dismayed at the sign of heaven.
So when you see the signs of heaven, don't be dismayed at them. You know why? Because these nations don't have a God. And God gave them these things that he gave for everybody. He gave them those things to worship. I'm going to prove that to you, right? Keep that in mind. Don't go nowhere yet. Watch this. Come on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
The heathen they like to make stars and idols out of clay and wood and cover it over with gold and put more than one hand on it and all kind of thing and worship it. That's what Jeremiah telling you. But you don't do that. That is what he's saying. Watch this.
For the custom of the people are vain.
So they're going to make these things customs. In other words, they're going to say, you know what? Today we worshiping Ishu. Tomorrow we worshiping the sun. Tomorrow we worshiping the backpack. And we go put a man cookway on it. And that is a custom of the people, not you. Don't follow them. Read.
For one cutting the tree out of the forest.
So now I want to leave and go on and cut down a tree in the forest. Now you could leave and go back and sing. And you could go in and they go sell you a tree in a box that have a stand on the foot and all that. So you don't have to go and cut no tree no more. But they go sell you some ornaments, silver, gold, peach, all kind of fancy thing, and they go give you a star on the top and all kind of thing. You understand where I'm coming from? But watch this, read. We're going to explain the same thing right here. Come on.
The work of the hands of the workman.
So this man is using hand
with the axe. They take it with silver and with gold.
Same thing that they upgrade. You understand where I'm coming from? In a different way. So they repackage it and sell it back to you. Come on.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
So long ago, they had to fasten it like how we prepare this sign so that it can't fall down. They had to set it up. Some of them put it in paint bucket and put cement and thing and then they rest it down inside it. You understand? Come on, read.
They are upright as the palm tree.
So if you know about palm trees, a coconut tree is actually a family of the palm. You see how it does be? So it's upright as a palm tree. Come on.
But they speak not.
But it does not speak. Why? Because during the Mesopotamia religion, there's a king by the name of Nimrod, was a Cushite. He died. His wife, Semiramis, married her own son, get pregnant. And the son, she tell them that is Nimrod reincarnated. So even after Nimrod's death, she tell them, look, listen, if you don't do this custom, take it with silver and gold, and after the season, take down the silver and gold and bring it for Nimrod's spirit to jump out of the tree and damage them, because Nimrod was a fierce ruler. You understand where I'm coming from? That's right there in the book of Genesis 10, I think. Yeah. Right? Come on, read.
They must needs be born.
They had to carry them.
Because they cannot go.
Because they can't go for themselves.
Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
So Jeremiah telling the people, this tree can't do you no harm. Give me Baruch chapter 6. Right? No, what I'm going to show you is now, Jeremiah was only talking about the Christmas tree. We just hit the Christmas tree. He was talking about idol worship on a whole. So I'm going to give a little more detail that he gave the people. Start from verse 1, right? Watch this carefully. Listen to me carefully. Yeah? Watch this. Read the introduction on top. Yeah, read that. What is it?
The epistle of Jeremiah, chapter 6. The cause of the captivity is their sin.
The cause of the captivity of the children of Israel going into Babylon is what?
It's their sin.
Sin. Read.
The place whereto they were carried is Babylon.
So the place where they went to is Babylon. This is world history. This is world history. We're not teaching no lies. But this was written aforetime. The Lord write this before it happened. Read.
The vanity of whose idols and idolatry are set forth at large in this chapter.
You understand what we're talking about? Idolatry. So what is the reason why we went into captivity? Because of idolatry. But watch this, we're going to get some more. Come on, read.
A copy of an epistle which Jeremiah sent unto them, which were to lead captivity into Babylon.
Come on.
By the king of the Babylonians, to certify them as it was commanded him of God.
So God commanded him to tell them what not to do. Read.
Because of the sins which ye have committed before God, ye shall be led away captives unto Babylon.
So this is what we out here telling you. The sin that you're in today, if you don't repent, it's no Babylon to come. You're in Babylon right now. It's fire and brimstone. It's destruction. It's judgment coming next. It God ain't coming here to hug nobody up and kiss them. He coming to rain fire on this land. Come on. You gotta go? Alright. So you understand what I was telling you about this? So we explain Christmas to you and you understand that you're not supposed to be keeping Christmas. You know what you're supposed to be keeping? Give me John 10:22 real quick. John 10:22. So this season right now that we here, we actually in the season of the Feast of Dedication. Right? Christ kept it. So we're going to show you what Christ kept so you know what you're supposed to be keeping, right? Which is a commandment. Come on, read up.
This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of the Dedication.
Feast of Dedication.
And it was winter.
And it was the winter season now.
And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
So Jesus kept the Feast of Dedication. But how we know that is because our forefathers, the Maccabees, war against the Greek, capture back the stronghold, which is Jerusalem, which is where the Lord chose to put his name, and then they rededicated the temple and they said it should be kept as a feast 8 days in its season annually. And that is why Christ knew you have to keep it. So that is what you're supposed to be keeping. You have a flyer, don't waste it. Phone number on the back, make sure you contact the school, bring your daughter, bring your rib, come and learn the truth about who you are and what you need to do in order to get salvation, because salvation is not for everybody on earth. And I'm going to show that to you real quick. Give me Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 23. 2 more scripts and I'm going to let you go. So they always tell you that Christ died to give everybody salvation, right? Salvation is to be saved from the hands of your enemies and you be in safety and you witness the destruction of the people that actually have you in slavery. All right, good. Come on, read that for me. Jeremiah 3 and 23.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills.
So you can't go and worship no idol in no grove in no hill to get salvation. This is what Jeremiah, same Jeremiah telling the children of Israel who was worshiping idols, why they end up in Babylon. Watch this, come on.
And from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel.
Salvation of who?
Of Israel.
Israel. Salvation is only for Israel. One more, Luke chapter 1 verse 68. We're going to give you it in the New Testament now. You understand where I'm coming from? As they call it, the New Testament is not no New Testament. That is the Old Testament. Come on, read.
Luke chapter 1 and verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
He's only the God of Israel. You hear that, right? Come on, read.
For he had visited and redeemed his people.
Come to save his people, read.
And had raised up an horn of salvation for us.
That is Christ. He raised up a ruler to save you out of your enemies' hands, read.
In the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets,
He spoke about it with Jeremiah,
which we have been since the world began.
Since before the world began, he said that salvation is only for Israel. Read.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
We should be saved from our enemies. Enemies, not friends. God have enemies. We are his children. We have enemies. Read.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
So who is the all that hate us? Apart from some of us hating our own selves. All the other nations on earth hate us. And they come together to make sure we don't know who we are. That is why we out here to teach those who want to know the truth. Read.
To perform the mercy promised to our fathers.
So the mercy only promised unto the children of Israel. Read. Come on.
And to remember his holy covenant.
And the covenant that he made, new and old, he only made them with the children of Israel. No other nation on earth.
That's right.
And he's going to remember that covenant if we remember ours, which is to return to the laws. Alright? Read.
The oath which he swore to our father Abraham.
The Lord said oath is a promise that he make, that he carries out. Like he said, if you break the laws, boom, slavery. That is his promise. He carried that out. Read.
That he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear.
So we serving the Lord with fear. Because right now our brothers been traveling and it's stopping them from teaching in certain places. Some men getting arrested for teaching this very word that we teaching. So you have to be fearful when you're bringing it out, but we don't give a damn. We're going to teach this because we had to wake our people up so we can get the hell out of captivity. You understand what I'm saying? So I know you had to run, like I say, you have the information, but in the meantime, I'm going to bring out some scripts while you're walking. I'll give me Psalms 83. I'm going to show you who the enemies of the Lord is and who our enemies are at the same time. Yo, Papi, what's going on? Where's the scene? You good? You celebrating the Christmas holiday? We're at the zoo. You don't celebrate Christmas. I have a question for you. You know your nationality? Here's a trend big one here. Here's what to do for me. When you get Romans chapter 11 and verse 1. I'm going to show you something, right? You say here's a trend big one here, which means you're a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, right? I'm going to show you a man who knew his citizenship from his nationality. I'm going to show you your nationality right here. Look on the sign right here and tell me where you see yourself. I'm going to show you a man who knew his nationality different from his citizenship. Right? Alright. Watch this. 11 and 1. Watch this carefully. Read.
Romans chapter 11 and verse 1. I say then, had God cast away his people?
So this Paul is asking the people in Rome if they think God cast away his people, which is the children of Israel. Right? But he's going to answer the question. Come on.
God forbid.
He said, hell no. God ain't cast away people. Read.
For I also am an Israelite.
So he said, he, Paul, is an Israelite. Read.
Of the seed of Abraham.
Of the seed of Abraham. So he know the lineage of his fathers. Right? So Abraham had Isaac, Isaac had Jacob. And then Paul is telling you that he come from these same men. Right? Read.
Of the tribe of Benjamin.
So Paul tell you he from the tribe of Benjamin. You understand where I'm coming from? But this man was a Roman. You understand what I'm telling you? Because you know he was a Roman. But here he's telling you he's a what? Here he's telling you he's an Israelite. So Paul know the difference in the nationality. So now I'm asking you again. Do you know your nationality? Because you know your citizenship. You have to be an Israelite. You want me to show you how you just know you're an Israelite? Alright, so here what? You see this right here? Who this happened to in the whole world? Who it happened to? And why it happened to them? You do social studies in school? Yeah? Alright, so I'm going to show you something. The Bible is clear, right, that God wrote everything before it happened. He said he chose the apostles last, and he also said he chose the foolish of this world to confound the wise. The foolish of this world would be people like you and I who have not been or dropped out of school one, haven't been to cemetery school and learn no foolish doctrine from the white man to come back and teach our people. But the fact that the Spirit of Christ is going to be in us, we're going to be teaching this Bible, thus saith the Lord. And we will be able to give the sense and make people like you understand. And then when they see you in the street teaching this, they will laugh you. But don't worry yourself. That is how God set it. So this is how we just know your nationality according to the Bible. The key to our nationality is the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Right? And the Lord said they would be upon us for a sign. What's your last name? Gobin, right? According to the Bible, God ain't give us no Smith, Winchester, none of them last names we carrying. God gave us the name Israel. But in the different captivities, our name changed, and he said that that would be one of the curses that would be on us for us to identify ourselves. Give me verse 45. Watch this. So I'm going to let you know right now that this whole book, and I ain't even going to Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 1. Yeah, if you want to hear it, I'll read it.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
This book is written to the children of Israel. Come on.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and shall overtake thee till thou be destroyed.
That is your mind. That is your mind. But there's a reason why the curses will come upon you, right? Watch this, read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee this day.
So the Lord tell you, if you keep his commandments, these curses wouldn't come on you. 28 and 1. If you keep them. 28 and 1. Watch this, eh? So what we do, we jumping back and forth a little bit to give you understanding, right? Come on, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his which I command thee this day, that all these that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So he tell you, if you keep the commandments, you're going to be here. But if you ain't keep these commandments, you're going to come low. You're going to come low under everybody. You're going to be on the corner selling apples, pears, grapes, pineapple, rags, all these things. After you're going to buy them from the owners of the store. Christmas, come in, big man. Come in. What did I tell you about Christmas? Yeah, beautiful. You ready? So what we're doing here, you see the brethren right here? Ruben, we're showing him the curses that sit on our people is as a result of sin. And that is the reason why we're the lowest. For example, if you look around, all these produces these people get, they get them from somebody who was above them. And then they come out here and they have to sell them to us to make a dollar. While the people who they get them from, most likely home with their foot rock back, sipping on coconut water and Johnny. You understand where I'm coming from? But we had to be out here, right? So we out here to show our people what's going on. We got touch Christmas just now, but let me hit him this real quick. Read that from me real quick. Watch this, eh? Don't move it.
15. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
64. I want to show you what happened was one of the curses why our people learn Islam and Christianity. Right? I'm going to show you this real quick. I need to touch this. Watch this. Come on.
Verse 64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So it's the Lord that put your people on ships and scatter them among all people. Because you sin. Read.
From the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone.
Indeed, wood and stone. When you do Hajj, which is one of the 5 pillars that you have to do, right? You have to go to the Mecca and you have to walk around the stone and then you have to bow down to the stone. Like the stone religion. When you go to any Christian church, if we could see that church up there, we see that big wooden cross on it. That's Christianity. That's what the Lord said would happen to the children of Israel, right? But big man want to know about Christmas. So let me touch Christmas for him real quick. Jeremiah, yeah, you want Jeremiah 17:9? We got touch Jeremiah 17:4 first. Yeah, give me Jeremiah 17 and verse 4 first. Yeah, read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself,
even you and you,
shall discontinue from thine heritage.
Shall discontinue from your heritage that God gave you. Read.
That I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
So it could take a long time. Once you continue doing it, judgment gonna be upon you, right? Let me get verse 9 for him. Come, read.
Verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Who knows? Who knows the heart? Only God. Right? So you might be having it in your mind that you ain't gonna do something, and give it the opportunity, bam, you do it. You know why? Because simple things like not having on fringes. Because the purpose of this is to remind you to keep the commandments. So when wickedness come to your mind, this does help you cast it down. Some men just have this and what do they do with it? They just put it under the chin and then behind the neck and commit fornication. That's not how it does work. Right? Well, let me touch Christmas for big man real quick. We will show you the characteristics of Christmas written in the Bible long before it started happening. Right? This is before the children of Israel went into Babylon for sin. Right? Jeremiah chapter 10. I'm gonna read it for you, and you gonna make sense out it for me. Come on, read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
I'm talking to you and your people, read.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
So they go in the forest, they chop down this tree, right? And then they come and they deck it with silver and gold. What that sound like? That's a Christmas tree, but the most I say, don't learn these ways, right? So why are we doing it? So that is what religion teaches for a long time. Remember we read a scripture just now saying that we will discontinue from our heritage? This is not our heritage. Christmas is not our heritage. Christmas is a lie. It come from right here. Right here is where it come from. Deception. And the fact that our people do not want to hearken to this word, they continue doing this thing. Read.
Isaac.
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are bright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born. Because they cannot go, be not afraid of them.
You can't afraid this because this come from an old Mesopotamian religion. Well, Nimrod wife tell them, yo, listen, if you don't do this, Nimrod could come out of the street and harm you. But now Jeremiah telling them, yo, nah, that old foolishness, no, we don't do that. Because that tree can't even talk. You understand where I'm coming? So all people was living in fear and end up in idolatry, worshipping a Mesopotamian god. Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. But this is what God said unto the children of Israel. And it's the same thing Jeremiah tell them, hey, don't fear them, worship your God. Right? Daniel is an Israelite that went into Babylon, never bow down to the God. End up in a furnace, end up in a lion's den. Nothing can happen to he and his brothers. You understand? Because our God is always fight for us. Read that for me. Watch this. This is the commandment that God gave from before. Watch.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in on the earth beneath, or that is under the water in the earth.
So God tell us not to make anything that these nations going to make and worship. Deuteronomy chapter 119, right? Because our God is the God of all gods, and that is who we worship. But their gods, all their gods are idols, and we not to follow them. Because when we follow them, we just end up beneath them. But this is the reason why they just worship these things. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 19. Unless thou lift up thine eyes.
This is what he's telling the children of Israel, that in the day when he presented himself to us in Horeb, we saw no manner of nothing in the sky, nothing below the earth, in the sea, nothing. Nothing. You know why he ain't show us no similitude or nothing? For this reason right here. Read.
Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto the heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and to serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
God divided unto all nations. He divided that for them to worship, not us. But we are to worship our God, which is the God of heaven that create all things. You understand where I'm coming from? Right? So this Christmas, fire burn that. We not on that. We out here to teach our people how to keep the commandments.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in